What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and first things first, I apologize if I'm not excited as I normally am. I'm kind of fighting off a bit of a cold. I caught it during Thanksgiving. Worst time to catch a cold. But let's talk about the Hawkeye show, right? Specifically, let's talk about Kingpin, because I feel like this is the one thing that a lot of people are really curious about when it comes to the show. A few things to point out. One, I think Echo's going to be really, really cool. I think her story is going to be a redemption story, and I think she's going to end up joining Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I think that the old man who was murdered is actually the father of Echo. I think that Eleanor, the mother of Kate Bishop, is going to turn out to be Madame Mask, and I think Kingpin's going to have a role in the show, but not until later on. So that's kind of my predictions for the series. I didn't catch the episodes, the first two episodes, which they released kind of at the same time. I didn't catch those the night they came out. In fact, I actually didn't see those until about Friday. So I was avoiding spoilers and just not really reading up on anything, but like it was Thanksgiving, man, right? Cut me some slack. I was flying on on Wednesday, and then it was Thanksgiving Thursday, and then relaxing on Friday, plus Black Friday shopping. But nonetheless, here's the thing. The show itself was fun. I get that a lot of people are looking at Hawkeye and they're kind of like, I mean, this is a show that exists, right? And you know, it's filler, right? We're just kind of watching this until Spider-Man comes out, and then we'll keep on watching this until the next thing comes out. Moon Knight, I think, is what people are really looking forward to, and I'm really looking forward to that too. But the show is fun. I think the show had a great blend of mystery and intrigue in the first two episodes. Having said that, for the character of Madame Mask, this is what's really interesting, because technically the character of Eleanor does exist in Marvel Comics, but she's kind of like a Negasonic Teenage Warhead-esque character, right? Do you guys remember in Deadpool when you had Negasonic Teenage Warhead and everybody wanted to know what her character was about? I made videos at that point in time and I was like, look guys, I mean, there's really nothing on this girl. She's quite literally a girl you saw for 2 panels before she and the 16 million other mutants on Genosha were obliterated by Cassandra Nova and a bunch of Sentinels, right? Like, there's nothing on this girl. You literally see her long enough to see her die, and that's it. Eleanor is very much the same way. The involvement of Eleanor is limited insofar as she was believed to have been dead, and then it turned out she was alive, and she was actually backing all the endeavors of Madame Mask at the time, basically the daughter of Count Nefaria. If you don't know who she is, it doesn't really matter. This is not Comics Explained. So the point is, she has a very, very short and limited run in the Hawkeye series as it was done by Kelly Thompson. And so with that in mind, I would imagine that Marvel would likely take the character of Eleanor as she exists in the comics and bring her in as the character of Eleanor that you see in the show, but then also transform her into Madame Mask, right? She's basically just this really, really cool character that's one part mercenary, one part just like super intelligent member of the criminal underworld, and is most likely competing with Kingpin, right? Now, the reason why I say that is because I think that what might be going on here is the father of Echo is working for Kingpin. I think that's kind of the thing that's going on there. I don't know if Echo really has a hand in that, but the reason why I say that is because in the comics, the father of Echo was actually a mob enforcer who worked for Kingpin, and then the way it was originally done in the comics, Kingpin actually tricked Echo into believing that Daredevil had killed her dad, and that's how you got the first appearance of Echo, as well as her initial conflict with Daredevil. You can kind of switch some of those parts out, right? So basically you have this scenario unfold where you say that like Kingpin is actually the one responsible for the death of Echo's father, and then Echo, at least word gets to her, quote unquote, by some mysterious source who turns out to be Kingpin later, that it was actually Eleanor, the mother of Kate Bishop, who killed her father. And then in turn, now she's targeting Hawkeye, right? And then everything, like the smoke gets cleared and everything. Eleanor may or may not be Madame Mask, we have no real idea, but basically she's exonerated, and then like Echo teams up with Kate Bishop and with Clint Barton, and they go and they confront like the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. So I think that if you see him in this show, you'll only see him under a couple of different circumstances. The first circumstance will be that he's like the main boss, right? Like the main bad guy. That what you're seeing here with like Eleanor, the mother of Kate Bishop, who looks like she's kind of a villain, that it's a ruse, right? That like the guy she's dating who looks like a porn star from the 70s, that he's not really even a main villain either, right? Either that or is like he's an enforcer working for Kingpin who was there to set it all up and make it look like Eleanor was the bad guy, right? Whatever whatever the circumstance happens to be. But basically, like, Wilson Fisk is kind of working behind the scenes, and then everything is cleared, and like halfway through the series, then it's like, okay, he's the main bad guy, he's the person they're going up against at the end of the show. The alternative to that is Kingpin's there, but you don't see him until like the last 1 or 2 episodes. And that Kingpin's involvement in the MCU is him just kind of appearing here and appearing there, right? Like, he'll have a role in the She-Hulk show because he's just the leader of the criminal underworld and the guy that like Jennifer Walters is trying to bust or something along those lines. And then like the actual full-on Kingpin acting, doing something of significance involving the main star of a show happens in Daredevil, where basically it's kind of a return to the old like Netflix Daredevil series where Kingpin's fighting Matt Murdock and they have their whole thing, however it is that might unfold. I could be entirely wrong here. I think Marvel is most likely playing the long game. If you do see Kingpin face off against the Hawkeyes in this show, I think that would be cool because it would give us an indication of what he can do in comparison to what we would refer to as Avengers. Because when you think of Hawkeye, it's like, I mean, it's Hawkeye, whatever. But like if Kingpin beats Clint Barton, you're like, damn, Kingpin beat up an Avenger, right? And it's like, okay, that's kind of a big deal, right? Like just the phrase, he beat up an Avenger, is not one that you just sort of tote around lightly. And so kind of building him in small little ways to where he really feels like just this big imposing figure by the time the new Daredevil series comes out, it would be pretty smart. But let me know what you guys think about that, right? I mean, do you think that Kingpin's being built up into this big thing? Do you think Kingpin's involvement is going to be limited until the very, very end? And then maybe it's a big fight between like Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, maybe Echo and Kingpin or something along those lines. Let me know what you guys think, right? I mean, it's entirely possible Echo is just a straight up villain and she's gonna be a villain for the whole show and they kill her at the end. I have no idea, right? I have no real indication here. I will say this though, I think Echo is gonna be phenomenal in this show, right? For those of you guys who don't know, Echo is basically a girl that has what are in effect the exact same abilities as Taskmaster Tony Masters, right? The difference is that one, she was not designed to be just like Tony Masters, but a female version. And two, she was designed to kind of complement Daredevil in the sense that Daredevil was blind. So she was created as initially a villain to Daredevil who was basically deaf. They kind of shared that disability in common. But her ability to mimic the moves of others, she only has to see them once. And so all she has to do is see Hawkeye punch once. She's got that punching style down, right? Like she could literally watch video footage of like Black Panther T'Challa fighting Bucky Barnes, right? Assuming that video footage is captured and it's available like from the news during like Captain America Civil War, right? That whole big huge skirmish and everything. Assuming there's any video footage of that, she'd be able to fight just like T'Challa, having only watched it one time. That's all it takes. So literally fighting her is fighting the entirety of the Avengers, because what she could do would be very similar to Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie, albeit probably better, where like imagine that Echo's fighting like Hawkeye Clint Barton and Hawkeye Kate Bishop, and then in the middle of the fight, she starts fighting like Captain America, and then she switches to Black Panther, and then she switches to somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, over and over and over again, even possibly unidentified fighting styles that actually belong to characters that we haven't seen yet. For example, Moon Knight, right? Like she's encountered Moon Knight, or there's video footage of Moon Knight or something like that. She sees it, right? Like when Moon Knight's learning how to fight or the training sessions or whatever, she watches Mark Spector fight and then suddenly she's fighting like Mark Spector. Just different things along those lines, right? If there's video footage of Spider-Man, like fighting some villain, suddenly she's every bit as agile as Spider-Man is. Like she's flipping around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's what makes Echo so dangerous. So let me know what you guys think about the first couple episodes of Hawkeye so far. Are you digging it? Are you kind of like, it's okay. It's a show that exists, right? I mean, it's just something I'm watching to fill time. Let me know what you guys think. But thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.